Fuck the spitting one is. Fuckers. Tell you what, we'll make the volume be real quiet real quick. Tideman's last hope. To anyone who may find this transmission, there are people, even some of my own staff, who say I am a monster for what I brought to this station. They say the marker is manipulative, that it influenced my decisions. They don't understand that what I did for this community, for our species. Titan Station was a dead husk before I breathed life back into it with government research grants. That research into unimaginable sources of energy, into manufacturing techniques and efficiencies far beyond all previous understanding, is the only hope that remains for mankind. We have relied on destructive planet cracking for far too long, and now we can no longer sustain ourselves. We need the markers to survive. If we fail in our efforts to understand them, there is no hope left for humanity. Hans Tideman, Director of Operations, Earth Government Colonial Alliance. Sorry about the sudden burst of noise when I turned it back up. Oh my god. So 1 and 2 kind of have this a little problem in my eyes of extremely loud noises for an extended period of time. I do not like it. Because then you get audio logs or text logs, and it's just so annoying when you get those.
just lost! I won't let you throw all this away.
I missed. I thought it was aimed straight at him. I didn't know I had to aim it.
Thank you, Isaac. Now, time to die.
What?
Yours is the last body we need to be reborn. The Makers must be absorbed.
The Makers? You mean me? But Strauss said we could destroy the marker.
Not if we consume you first.
God damn it, I trusted you! Fuck you! And fuck the marker!
What if that was really how the game ended? That would be insane. That was bullshit. She spawned right behind me. That was absolute bullshit. Oh. Didn't realize that I was supposed to do that. Jesus. The final sacrifice.
Reactor containment destabilized. A reactor breach is imminent. Evacuation of all personnel is required. This is not a drill. Auxiliary power systems. Warning. Reactor containment failure. Reactor breach is now in progress. Evacuate immediately all personnel, including civilians. This is not a drill. Warning. Life support failure. Seek protection immediately.
You complete bastard! Was this your great plan? Dump me off and die?
Full of bad ideas, remember?
Yeah, well, here's another one. I'm crashing through the roof to get you. Now move your ass.
Wait, no, Ellie, it's too late. Stay clear of the station.
Yeah, well, you don't really have a say this time. Heads up.
Breach. Decompression. Warning. Hands failure.
Isaac! Take my hand!
I'm trying! I'm trying!
What?
2 for 60G. I don't know what that means. No idea. What that was Dead Space 2. We can talk about it a little bit. So I actually really loved Dead Space 2. I think I honestly like it better than the first, except for one thing. The last, what is it? It was 15 chapters, so 13, 14, and 15. Even though I think 13 had some of my favorite moments with Nicole. All three of those chapters were kind of a, what is it? It's basically just a shootout. You're having to shoot through just a shit ton of enemies. They introduced the regenerator there, and he never went away. And I understand why they did that, is because it's just ramping it up at the end. One thing that I loved is that they never actually gave you a boss fight. They had a couple of moments where you had to defeat a much harder enemy than a normal one, but there were no boss fights, and I appreciate that, just because I'm not a fan of boss fights. That is my only gripe on, like, well, not my only one, but one of the biggest gripe I have on the Resident Evil series, because it's really weird to me when a survival horror game, or just survival game in general, has a boss fight, because it's supposed to be a survival game. You're supposed to have limited resources, and it's supposed to be a struggle. Now, of course, on an easier difficulty or on normal, like we played Dead Space and Dead Space 2 on, it's not going to be too much of a struggle. You're going to get a lot of ammo and health, enough to maybe not easily make it through, but make it through without too much difficulty. But I'm not a big fan of boss fights in general, just because I've had a bad time with them where you will die and then you'll have to start maybe 10 minutes back to get to that boss fight, and then keep doing it over and over. But anyway, I love Dead Space 2. We still have the DLC Severed to do, which is around hour and a half, 2 hours, is what I hear. Hopefully that's good. I've never played it, never seen gameplay of it. And then after that we have Dead Space 3 and its DLC. And from what I hear, Dead Space 3 is kind of where it took a turn for the worst, and that's mainly because of EA. They wanted a wider audience because they wanted it to sell better. So they made it less survival, and they put in microtransactions. And then when people hated both those things because they liked the survival horror aspect of it, and they liked that there were no microtransactions in a single-player survival game, it's not going to sell well. I mean, that's just it. It was cool that they added co-op, but again, I don't think a Dead Space game should have co-op. That's not really what it's about. But again, Dead Space 3 I have not ever played. Hopefully I'll still enjoy it. I say one thing that's odd, and I guess it makes sense in this one, is that it's 3 years since the first game ended. And that means it took 3 years for another outbreak to happen. So, my takeaway is that it doesn't start happening until there is a marker. Isaac destroyed the marker. So they, the religious cult, if you will, they got Isaac, and when he was out of it that whole time, hey, Brian Bloom's in this. He's BJ in Wolfenstein. They started making it, the marker, from his memories, and so at some point, because the marker was built, another outbreak happened. And that's what I'm taking away from it. I'm pretty sure that's how it happens. There has to be a marker for there to be necromorphs. And also, the people made the necromorphs. We learned that from the first game. And then I'm pretty sure the third game, it's even more time has passed. I don't know how much, maybe 5 years or something. I have no idea. But Isaac was really cool in this one. They made him into a badass. They had him, voiced this time, which I think is really cool. It lets you have more of a story, lets you get into their head more, which was what the first one was lacking. He heard Nicole the entire game the entire time in the first game, but he never said anything, which was a little weird. Now, I did hear that in the remake, he's going to be voiced, and in the Zero-G, they're going to make it kind of like this game, which I actually think the Zero-G in this game is really well done. This game is 11 years old now, and not only do the graphics hold up, but the gameplay holds up really well. Because the Zero-G, with the boost, you can fly around and reorient yourself. It's really, really well done. The only other game I know that does it really well is Prey. 2017? I think that's when it came out. That's one of my favorite games of all time, so. Kind of reminds me of Dead Space a little bit, except for the going crazy part. Well, actually, nothing reminds me of it like Dead Space, except for the fact that there's Zero-G and the monsters the phantoms resemble necromorphs. But that's about it. Let's see, anything else? While we let the credits roll. This one was, to me, up until chapter... What chapter was the drill? Up until the mines. Up until we got into the mines. So I think chapter 11 or 12. Those first 10 or 11 chapters, I think were way creepier, or unsettling, if you will, than the first game. So I think they did a better job on this one in doing that, and I think a big part of that had to do with Nicole. Now, like I said, chapters either 11 or 12 onwards, it loses that, because they are, you got the mines, which wasn't too long. You had the whole drill section, which was its own chapter. And then the rest of the chapters were just run and gun. But I did think this one was actually creepier than the first, and I think that's why I like it better than the first. Now, there couldn't be a second without the first, so the first one, of course, is amazing. But I think this one adds on to it quite well. Okay. Can we go faster? Oh, you can't actually even skip them. Okay. Let's see, what else? Trying to think of anything else to say. I don't know where we got the upgraded suit and weapon. Maybe that's something for when you have the first game save. Maybe, I don't know. I do know we got a couple of those extra rooms. I think there were 3 or 4 of them, and the hacker suit from playing Dead Space Ignition. So that's really cool. And Ignition the story was good, but the puzzles, except for one, weren't very fun. And the ending of that kind of confused me, because I thought that the ending was the dude that wakes us up in the beginning of number 2. Because at the end of Ignition, it shows him, you know, he's gonna wake us up. And he kills his girlfriend right before that.
This is Flight Team EG9 to Control. We have completed the flyby. There's nothing left. I repeat, Titan Station has been completely destroyed.
And the marker.
Negative. Nothing survived this, sir. Marker Site 12 is a total loss.
Pity. Recall all flights and return to base. The other sites will have to pick up the pieces.
You must save your progress to unlock New Game Plus. Okay. Prototype suits unlocked. Elite suit versions and security suit variants unlocked in New Game Plus. Look for new items in the store and for schematics lost in the sprawl to get access to this experimental technology. Hardcore mode. You have unlocked the hardcore mode in which you will find the bare minimum of health and ammo to stay alive. When you die, you restart from your last save. You can only save 3 times. Holy shit. Considering there's a lot of moments that can insta-kill you, that's crazy. New Game Plus. You have unlocked the New Game Plus mode. Suits and weapons from your prior playthrough will be available in the first store. I'm guessing you want to play hardcore mode only on a New Game Plus. Be insane. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, the ending of that, maybe it's possibly retconned, or maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. Because the lady that's trying to help us in the beginning and turns out she's bad is Diane, who I thought was his girlfriend, and then he dies right there. But anyway, I enjoyed Dead Space 2. I hope you did as well. Please join me in the DLC and then in Dead Space 3. Which we know that, you know, there was obviously a sequel planned because of what they had at the end there. Site 12 is not the only site. There. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day, and I'll see you. Bye.